Hello, this is a storyline reading for Diamond DeShields. I did a storyline for you last night, but when I went to upload it this morning, I see it wasn't on my computer. It was disappointing, but I learned that when my storyline's not, it don't be enough room and they wind up not going on. And then you see me fussing about it and being angry, just do it over. The only thing is, usually when God had me do it over, something else usually added to it or something taken away from it. So this time right here, it is seen that God had me separate the cards. Yesterday I didn't separate them, I just put them down as they come out. But this time they are separated, right? So you're going to hear me say, you and Catlin, right? That situation, or your team in general. You're going to hear me say strictly as far as your bosses, whoever they are, in the firing of you. And then there's going to be something as far as any personal life you got. I have no idea, but only you would know who the people are. Remember that the readings I do, or they could be something from your past, something that's present right now in your life, or something that just haven't happened yet that's coming about, okay? Let's see. If a card seems like it's not you, it's somebody else. You're going to hear me say you or somebody. You're going to hear me say that different times with certain cards you hear me pick up. So I'm going to start with you and Catlin, that situation, because you are fired because of that situation. So we're going to start it off there. It's a lot of cards though. Last night, I think it was like 2 hours I was down here doing this, but let's just flow. This is not the first card from yesterday, I know, but I just don't remember which one was the first card. So I'm just gonna work it, okay? My name is the Brass Love One Healer Tarot 9 here on YouTube, and this is for Miss Diamond DeShields, a basketball player who was fired. She was made an example. She was made a scapegoat, an example. A poster child, a poster woman, however you want to call it. She was put front and center to let anybody know, if you step out of bounds, this is what's going to happen to you. But God says in the storyline, I can just say this a little bit about the one yesterday. God says in the storyline that something was overblown, and what God means is, your bosses, whoever they are, it was overblown. They didn't have to fire you. They could have gave you a warning, 1 warning, 2 warnings if they wanted to, and then fire you, not just fire you. Because they are pushers of money. That simply means they love money. They trying to make money. Catlin is like a cash cow. She bringing the money, bringing the fans, and they just felt like they was going to eliminate anybody or anything that stops them from getting their money, bottom line. And you was like a threat to their money. When you try to harm her and hurt her any kind of way, damage her legs or whatever by knocking her down, it stops her from being able to make money for them, okay? So you had to go. Now, let's go. First card. You're weathering things out with your person. And your person would be Catlin right now. That's the one you had problems with, right? So I'm going to move it over here for your personal life, unless you got somebody in your personal life, okay? I'm going to move that card, right? But right now, we're talking about Catlin. That's the one you had problems with. Universe said, God says that you got to fill your spirit with a clear vision, though. Because Catlin lost her cushions in minutes because you knocked her down. But you lost your cushions also, okay? So let me put it over here with your bosses, okay? Because they made you lose your cushions, okay? I want to go home again. So this goes over there too. Because you going home just means you want to come back to your team. But instead, your bosses sent you home. So we have right here that you captured the opportunity at the lighthouse. So I'm going to move this to your personal life, because I think somebody you know might have something happen to, or what might happen. So let's just flow. This one too. Okay, with your bosses, right? That's right. I gotta make sure. Okay, you fought Catlin. So you didn't really fight her, we know, but you knocked her down. So that's considered you fought her, okay? No matter her climb, no matter your climb, I'm sorry, you're just going to keep God front and center, or God telling you keep God front and center. Don't be talked down to because you showed your emotions. Because you needed a Jesus double miracle to not be fired. You needed that, like Jesus was said to walk on water. You needed that for your bosses not to fire you. Okay? So some kind of way they talk to you about your money, maybe, to butter you up, whatever they said. I don't know. You won't get your last pay. You know when bosses say whatever they say, like that's going to make you feel better. So it was activity on the cell phone, on somebody's cell phone. However, maybe what happened on the cameras in general. So let me move this to your personal life. Okay? So we have right here that your dream house would be considered being in any domain when you playing basketball, right? But then you were sent home. So being sent home is like jail to you. Get what I'm saying? Because you stuck there and you can't go back to the dream house. That means to any domain that your team is playing at. Okay, but I'm going to move this also over here to your personal life. So we have, it is obvious. You weren't going to be scared of nothing when you made the move you made. But God said, what is life to you? Okay? So you treated Catlin ugly as stink. It's obvious something come from way back with you. With a situation. It was a chamber of chaos. And it was negative, okay? So we have no more. You was ready. I'm ready. Because you wanted to know how long it was going to be with a female. And that would be Catlin. So I don't know if when y'all play she get over and get in front of you and block you. I just don't know, okay? So we have right here that is programming. People don't own the earth. Right? So this would go with your bosses. So we put that over there. Making money at night. Okay? I don't know if your basketball be at night or what. But if it is, you make nice money. Let's put this in the middle with your personal life though. Okay, so she is not biracial, but she is not your race. So you was dealing with one person. You was on the battlefield with her. She knows the truth. She's not innocent in it all as far as a situation. Follow me? So we have right here, I am still beautiful. I must not forget this. I must get past this. So Catlin might have felt like she is still beautiful. She is going to get past this, but we can't put it with her. This is your card. So we're going to put this over here with your bosses firing you, okay? So you're dealing with the cupcake exchange. That's my trafficking card. When you have teams, you move people from place to place, right? Plenty females, cupcake, right? So we have right here, you was going to be cordial because you was diapering your problem. So you had to take all your power back and get away from the idiot. So at that time period, you might have looked at her as an idiot at that time, right? So you had deep feelings inside. Something is on the skin or on her skin. Tattoos and moles, dimples, freckles, wrinkles, whatever it may be. Eczema, whatever's on the skin of you, her, or whatever, right? Whoever, right? Whatever the mark is. Burns, scars. It could be anything, okay? You or her. Moles, whatever it may be, okay? Birthmarks, whatever. Okay? You're going to see it clear as possible. Here we go again with this, something she did. As far as maybe coming over your way or whatever. I just don't know. Only you would know. With that, something's plain and simple, but you shouldn't have jeopardized it because you moved loosely, sliding through, gliding through to get to her on the court, okay? Because she set you off some kind of way because you felt she wanted to covet, I guess, the ball or whatever, right? When you didn't want her to covet you as far as blocking you or whatever it may be. You needed to filter it because you was gift seeking. That means trying to get the ball or whatever, trying to achieve, right? So you felt you're not tolerating her no more. You was in affordable housing. So wherever you was playing the game at, that's considered affordable housing, right? People was paying to be in there. Get what I'm saying? So you're going to accept any money given to you because you're gorgeous, right? But you needed to incorporate a dose of mild, right? So God says, don't let what you see ruin your life because you can't find it. So can you really cope though? Because everybody know, the family, friends, the team, everybody know that you did this, or know that you got fired, or whatever God talking about with that card. Okay, you have plenty of ideas for your fortune. So we have right here Detroit. So I did say yesterday about the teams I heard, but I don't want to stop right now with that, because I think I'm gonna have to stop the video. I wish I could just do all of them, but I'm gonna have to pause it some kind of way and come back to it. So I don't want to stop and say all of what I was saying yesterday. I'm gonna put it in, but just not yet. Okay, but we got Detroit here, right? The Windy City. So stop depending on other people to grow with you, God says, right? So you being appreciative of a job that was sufficient, right? You might have felt boxed in some kind of way with the situation, right? Or let's put this over here with your bosses. Put that over there. So it was talking in your surroundings. Okay, because somebody is half good, half bad, like the Gemini sign if they're not a Gemini, right? You had to pay attention to your dreams and your visions, God said, but you was peeling off everything in you and being abusing your power with Catlin, right? But also your bosses did that to you. I gotta put that over there. So is lapse in employment because you work a certain kind of job. So it's a lapse in employment because your employers made it where you can't play basketball with no team, so they made it where it's lapse with your employment, okay? You're an earth angel person, you got a healing path, but you got to leave destruction behind, okay? You was admiring the fruit, and Catlin was the fruit at the time, and you was dangerous, follow me? Follow me? You was being destructive, okay? So I don't know if you was playing at night or what, I just don't know. Or you was traveling at night or whatever, right? So we have you was in your feelings, follow me? So we're going to move this over here to your boss. You had some tendencies, and that's a sure thing, right? To be dangerous to her because you knocked her down or whatever happened. You was being different. Being different just means you stand out. You are adorable though. So you beat her, and you just mainly just beat her just by just knocking her down. That's what it's called, beat right here. But your bosses over there, they beat you. So I gotta put this over there, right? So you on the internet, television, or anything like that. So you might have said, can you help her after you knocked her down and you moved your saddle? That just simply means you moved to extend your hand to help her. Probably you justified it at that time lately that you needed help her, and you did, right? So things is starting to look good now. Do you really like the way you are? So God said, do you really like the way that you are as far as that situation? So we got, this would be Catlin. She reeling in the cash. She like the church mouse. She reeling in the cash stuff. Okay, it's horrifying because she might try to distinguish what was going on, right? But I'm going to put this over here with you and your bosses. So you're a foreigner in a beautiful state, or she is, however it's flowing. You wasn't valuing others. Newsflash, it was wake up time. So you need to check your mind so you could be secure. So unfortunately, you're dealing with a she bear, Catlin Clark, right? A woman that takes charge, a go-getter, a woman about business, a woman that's trying to win, right? Every day is not a good day. You had a blank look on your face, so you had to accept and try harder in business, right? So we have right here that it was intense madness with you and her on the court. You need to bring an emotional love that was needed. You cannot control other people's feelings. You needed to lift your heart. Follow me? Okay, so we have Philly, that would be Philadelphia. So we have right here, tell a secret. So you got a secret, you know a secret, anything as far as a secret, let it out now. Torture me not. So you felt some kind of way, you was being tortured some kind of way, maybe because you couldn't get the ball from her, or whatever was going on there, right? Or by your bosses by firing you, okay? See that You was crying out for attention some kind of way. Or she is crying out for attention by her making a move she had to make. So that means she is getting attention. And you felt like that tormented you, anything like that. So we got the so-called friends would be like the teammates or anybody like that, or these fans of you alls, right? Was taking notes. So it's complicated for you to show her good, show her love on the court, right? So you are Earth Angel person, or you're not bringing the happiness and get along with all races. So you're going to pray about this thing and wrap it up, right, in the situation. So, okay, so we have right here that you was following her from a distance, she was you from a distance, or somebody else was following from a distance in a line, or whatever this is. God said you're a star, though. You got 2 chances to be that star. You was marveling at the gate, and at that time, Catlin was the gate, and you was loving it, right? So you was down on her because of her comping. And in this storyline, we taking it where she might was trying to get the ball, run with the ball, trying to get a shot or whatever, and you was down on her. So by you down on her, that simply means you was trying to bring her down and you knocked her down. Opportunity struck, and that's what you did. Opportunity struck and you got ready. Let's say get ready, but you got ready because you blamed her. You blame me. So that would be Catlin's words. You blame me. Opportunity struck because she was trying to make a basket, trying to run with the ball, or whatever was going on there. Follow me? So you took your shot and you was plunging in to take your shot, or she was going to plunge in and take her shot in the basket, right? But you took your shot and knocked her down. So we have right here that you are nervous and worrying about losing your job, or nervous about losing her as a teammate, or you get, or whatever's going on there with that card. So we have right here, you have to be considerate of your partner. She's not your partner, but she was a teammate. Follow me? I'm not selfish because I want a whole man or a whole woman. So that's what this card says, right? So you feel like you're not selfish because you want a whole man or a whole woman. So I don't know what all that is about. So let's just flow. So we have fear took you here. And you want people to know that fear took you there. You want to hold on to that thought, right? That fear. You want people to hold on to that thought. That fear took you there to make you make the move that you made. So you want a structure, and you were stung because it's pros and cons from what you did, and you didn't want no smoke. You are rolling in a shadow of pain because you did get some smoke from your bosses. But will this benefit you to bring on smoke with Catlin, because the total community, that would be your team or all the people over top of you who pay you, all of those people was not on your side. So God's saying right here for you though to create a miracle, and God gonna test you. A miracle for you is for you to rebuild, right? So I'm gonna say a lot of cards, and I'm gonna go back and say as far as the miracle part. I just don't wanna stop right now and go into all that because I got a lot of cards for you sitting in my face over there. So I gotta get all these cards in, and I'll say at the end, because I probably have to pause you, right? So you're fulfilling your copyright, right? But this goes with this right here, with God telling you with this miracle. God wants you to create a miracle for yourself, put every brick in place, everything in place, and make things happen for yourself, okay? Fulfill your copyright and make something your own. So you did that as far as your basketball, right? But God wants you to continue to act like you still do basketball. That means keep yourself fit, exercise, practice, do all that all the way to the end of the year and throughout the next year. Act like you're still in a league. Get what I'm saying? But on the other hand, you be doing something else too. You create something new for yourself, but also do that. You know what I'm saying? That's two things. It's like you got 2 jobs. Get what I'm saying? Do your regular routine like you actually on the league still. Do that. But also do something else on the side. You create and make your own. Do it all the way throughout to next year. Because I feel next year that they may reconsider and bring you back. I just don't want to go into all that right now because it's just a lot of cards in front of me. I'm trying to get down, okay? I'll come back and say it. Even if it's 2 videos, okay? Because God wants you to hear the message. You was hell bent on destruction as far as Catlin. So you weren't going to let your emotions stop you from going to a place. So you had to go back home, or some kind of way you had some problems home already and you came to work with it. Anything like that? You was acting spicy, and maybe Caitlin was amazed, or she might have been acting spicy and you was amazed. I don't know which one. You was laser focused on picking on her because you knocked her down. So we got, you know, a secret that you can't acknowledge, or somebody about you, or you about somebody. So let's just flow. So you wanted togetherness as far as you was hooked to the your team, and to her. Y'all wasn't on the same team. What am I talking about? I keep forgetting you're not on the same team, but both of you play basketball. But yeah, you in agreement with the league, but she a player like you a player, so some kind of jointness happened because I guess you both had to go against each other as far as trying to keep the ball from each other. But you had to plant your vision. God says you might be groggy, confused, upset, nervous, because you wanted to have your job forevermore right here with this card. Take your hand. Okay, so we have right here something happening between 9 o'clock a.m. and 9:30 p.m. Next one is number 4. Okay, so we have something could have happened in April. Let's go a little bit. So a sale, something going to conclude online. They say a sale. I guess if you ordering something, but let's just take it to your basketball. As far as your games is going to conclude, that means no more games for you right now as far as being online with you in it, as far as your team. But you are uniquers, you and Caitlin, because you both are basketball players. So I don't know if you play the same position and you just on different teams or what. I would have to listen and look, right? But you needed to filter your ways because you had some demons going on that day. It was a mystery to all that. You had demons that you needed to confront. You might have been mad about something when you came to work or whatever, because you weren't going to let whatever you was feeling like stop you from going to the game or whatever this is, right? So when you start to really feel the real, you was going to come out, and the real you came out when you knocked her down. You had to move away from anything that annoys you in a situation. So you knocked her down, she annoyed you in a situation. But God said that you needed to move away. If she annoyed you, you needed to move away, not go toward. So God said you got to learn all the lessons needed in being to express your spirituality to the world. So the league was holding on to you for money because they are your bosses and you are an employee, right? Follow me? And you're holding on to them. So we got number 11, November. We got number 12 or number 21. So we have right here that you are a player and she is a player. You're searching for love. So by you searching for love, that simply means that you wanted her to let you be able to do what you wanted to do, I guess. So that would be searching for love. Get what I'm saying? If you was trying to get the ball, you wanted her to let you get the ball. That would be love. Get what I'm saying? Or we dealing with your bosses right here. Right? Let's put this up there for them. Okay, so you feel the daggers from her eyes on you. So you felt the daggers of her eyes on you. Right? Jealousy is in the form of a sister. So she's not your sister unless you got a problem with your own sister. I'm going to focus on Caitlin though. She's not your sister, but if both of you on teams, God calling it sisters because both of you female. So if you are not happy, you got to do things the right way, God said. Do you have burdens? You got to do things the right ways though. Okay, you was going to be the conqueror at that time period. You felt like wearing certain clothes, exaggerated things, but it don't excuse your bad behavior. She had what she had on, you had on what you had on as far as the different team names, right? But God said don't excuse your bad behavior because you felt like you was going to be the conqueror at that time. Okay? Okay, so we have right here that, let's put this up here in case. You might have said that you was ready for love, you ready to apologize or anything like that. and you want togetherness again or something like that. Okay, you blame me, so you got to blame yourself. You might have blamed Caitlin, but you had to blame yourself. So you felt like you was done with her for some reason. We are true friends, and you felt like, no, we not true friends. There's something about her, I guess, as far as you. Okay, you'll have to see through it. Don't fall for the bait. Your in-laws, it's the in-laws sometimes cause drama. So this could go up here with your personal life, but I can fit it in this storyline. In-laws could be just all the teammates and just everybody connected to the lead can cause kind of drama in a situation. Because you're dealing with all kind of personalities. You'll have to be strong. You got to see through it though. And don't fall for the bait. Okay? Somebody is a Gemini, act like a Gemini that you know. Right? You're going to be frank with, or they're going to be frank with you. That's a Conrad. So the next one is, you're going to be downtrodden. It takes two to make rights well. You and Caitlin, right? So we got the sister again. So if you got a sister problem, take it as your sister. If not, let it stay with Caitlin, because that's the person you had the problem with on the court, right? So a sister is being competitive. So we have right here you two being competitive. She's not your sister, but she is another female, and you are on the court together, right? Or you got a real sister who might be competitive. You both are different or something like that, because she knows she is not adequate. So if we deal with you on the court, you might felt like you wasn't adequate, and so you was in competition with Caitlin. Right? Or a real sister, take it if it go that way, right? Power stays with the wife, not with the ex. So we're going to change this around for the storyline, right? So I'm going to put it up there in your personal life soon, but I got to say it right here. So the lead, whoever your bosses is, felt like power stayed with Caitlin, right? Because wife mean you married to somebody, follow me? So power stays with Caitlin to them. It's like they married. Right? They feel like they married. Whatever their contract, whatever they got binding or whatever, they feel they married. So they was willing to make you an ex, not with the ex. So they made you an ex. Follow me? But you feel like you was being jerked around. But you feel like you was being jerked around, but they feel like you jerked Caitlin around when you knocked her down. And the other people who knock her around or whatever they did. Right? But you was the scapegoat. You was the one that got punished out of all these people. So they felt like you treated her like trash because you was being on the edge about things. Okay? So, honestly. So we leaving it like that for you and Caitlin, okay? So let's just see. So this you and Caitlin. Let me see how long that took me, because I was trying to rush. Okay, I'm trying to rush it. There's a lot of cards. I didn't realize it was so many. Maybe that's why it took 2 hours to do, or however long it was, because I was talking slower though. But I want to get it in. I really don't want to pause you, but I might have to pause you, because that's a lot of cards to be able to get in for a half hour. I don't know if I can make it happen. Okay, well, I'm not doing it again though. So if hopefully things flow good, because I'm not going to do it again, Lord. It's like taking too much time. Sorry, Miss Desheids. I want to let you have your storyline, but it's like there's a lot of cards I'm dealing with. These could be a total of 300 cards, because back and front stands for a card. So that could be 100. I'm looking at this in my hand and that right there. So that's a lot of cards. I'm trying not to be messing up. But I gotta really give you the story God wants you to have, because it's important to your growth. And I'm gonna make sure you get whatever it is God wants you to have. So it's 10 o'clock right now. So let me see if I can. Let's see. I'm hearing, don't mess with Bill. No, 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 no. Don't. Why? Yeah, don't mess with Bill. Don't mess with Bill, leave my Billy alone. Get a man of your own. Oh my goodness. Oh my goodness. Don't mess with Bill. I don't know who Bill is, but God, I'm hearing don't mess with Bill. So I'm going to say don't mess with Catlin, right? Because that's the one seemed like got knocked down, right? Yeah, the player, right? She was a player, right? Oh my goodness. Let's flow a little bit. Okay. You don't have to be a fire sign or earth sign or anything like that, but you might be dealing with a leader, and that would be your bosses, right? Hearing all kind of noises, and why I don't know, because there shouldn't be no noises. Let's flow a little bit. Which one is this one? Is this the one with the bosses? I'm gonna flow with the bosses. Is this the bosses? Is this the boss? Wait a minute, bear with me, Miss Desheids. Let's see something. I gotta make sure, because I'm trying to do the one with your bosses now. I'm gonna focus on them because they made you a poster child. They shouldn't have went that way, God says. Treatment, detention time, women, overblown. It's your bosses, because God says that they shouldn't have went that direction. They should have just gave you like a warning, one or two, and then they should have done it. God ain't saying they shouldn't have done it whenever, but not right then, because you was made wait a minute, you was made a scapegoat. You was made the example, or what you want to call it. And God don't like that. So let's feel a little bit. People don't own the earth, okay? Well, they own the league because they made that happen, so they are in charge of that. Okay, so let's see. Wait a minute. Bear with me a little bit. Okay, so this is going to be the lead, right? So wrap it up every time. Let's just flow. Let's just flow. I'm trying to get this done. Which direction was it, Lord? So we have people don't own the earth, but they do own that. There's programming going on. That simply means there's a bunch of rules and stuff that man set, and they want you to abide by it, else you out of it, right? Or it's consequences. And they beat you, and that's true. Your bosses, whoever they are. You was trying to distinguish. It was horrifying. Okay, you was a player, and you was looking for love from your bosses, right? So they looked at you as dangerous, right? Because you was admiring the fruit, and that would be Catlin, but they are admiring the fruit, Catlin, right? They're cash cow, money maker, right? You let off everything as far as on Catlin, they feel like, but they let off everything on you, right? And they abuse their power, God says, right? So they felt boxed in because they feel like they have to make the fans happy, right? They need to put that foot down, that big foot down. Get what I'm saying? You was being appreciative of a job that was sufficient, but they are also, right? So you must get past this. You are still beautiful of what's happening as far as letting you go. So you dealing with a leader or Aries or fire sign or earth sign, right? When you complain about your ex, you feed that person power. So you might was saying something about Catlin to them or whatever it might be, or your action showed it when you knocked it down or whatever. So you wanted to let them know that you wanted to let them know that you ready to love or ready to do right, or whatever you might have been saying to them as far as the situation. You're just going to wrap it up every time as far as dealing with the situation, as far as basketball and stuff like that, and just pray about this thing, right? So you wanted to lift your heart. You cannot control other people's feelings, stuff, right? So you might make money at night. So it was a chamber of chaos, and it was negative, right? So something come from way back, obvious with you and just being, I guess, on the team. So God said what it's like to you, though, because being on a team and being in the domains is like your dream house, right? But then this the jail card in the dream house, so it's like where you home now, so it's like you in jail. You locked down because you can't go in your dream house, and that would be any domain that you know your team is at. Get what I'm saying? We got the lockers. It's doomed now for you, right? So let's just flow. So something is on camera, activity on the cell phones of people or on the actual camera, right? That's wherever it's at. So it was time shared. You're being roped off though from time shared with your team, right? So let's put this over here. Go over there. Your person weathering things out with your person. That would be Caitlin at the time. You might wanted to try to weather things out. You felt left out in the cold because they put you out in the cold because of what happened, or you might have felt left out in the cold on the court, whatever was going on. You might like coral, she might like coral, or any of these people might live around water that has corals in it, anything like that, right? So we have that. Do not blame each other for the death. So don't blame each other for the end. That means the end coming to you working, right? Because you might say it was her fault, or however it might be going, but don't blame each other. Because you want to know simply why, maybe, or they might want to know simply why did you do it, or you might want to know simply why they let you go, or whatever, right? So all together, laughing at the oldies, so some kind of way, you thinking about all of the old times as far as, your team memories and stuff like that, maybe. So you're dealing with a push of money, and a push of money is a person that do anything for money. So they trying to hold on to Caitlin because she is the cash cow. She makes the money for them. She bringing the money all directions, right? She a real good player. I just don't know. See, I'm stopping for a minute because I just don't know. I have to look at more teams, I guess. But she seemed to make the three-pointer shots a whole lot, right? And I'm just trying to think of who else that does that. I just don't know none right now. I know the one, Plum, she make three-pointer shots, but I just don't know if she do it as much as Caitlin. Most shots I see Caitlin do, they seem like they from far distance. They not right up close, right? Okay, let me just stop right there. Okay, they wanted to go full force and grow their business with Caitlin. Okay, you got to revamp, do things all day, all night, or whatever, to change up things as far as your life, because they decided they want to let you go. You thought you was secure, but you got stopped. They wanted you to show some love and treatment to Caitlin, but you wanted them to show love and treatment to you and not let you go. Something could have happened between 2 o'clock a.m. 2:30 p.m. You're expecting nothing less than the best. You was going to spell it out, or they was to you. Because God said you sent me the best, but you was going to be wallowing in your pain, so you absorbed to see if they was genuine, what they were saying to you. So they created a shockwave for you. You didn't really see it coming. It was a mastermind, and a mastermind is whoever planned it from A to Z to let you go. You was trying to avoid them strip searching you, and that is firing you, taking up your money. So strip searching mean the end of your job, mean you don't get no more money after your time, whatever time it is, because you fill your time. You was filling detention time, and that is when you play the games, that's detention time, right? So somebody could be 24 and over, or 42 and over. So you feel like you like Caitlin, but you aren't gonna show her no love at that time, or your bosses like you, but they weren't gonna show you no love at the time because they looking at the billboards and the scoreboard. It's neutral, right, as far as jobs, and they trying to keep things going good, right? But God said something was overblown, and it was overblown because they shouldn't have fired you. They should have gave you 1 warning or 2 warnings and then fired you. You might like music, guitars, violins, or any of these people involved. Okay, well, you say you're sorry to Caitlin. Okay, so we have right here, you didn't cherish Caitlin, right? So going off your bosses, you want your bosses to cherish you, cherish me, right? So we have right here, you had a 6th sense about the TP, and that would be the office or anything like that. Something was in slow motion, your eyes was getting watery. Okay, so you had to change house. It's like you in limbo. You got to change house, right? You wanted loyals out of your bosses, but they wanted loyal out of you. So they're trying to pan out the court life of you. Well, you was trying to pan out the court life of how long you was going to deal with Caitlin on the court in a situation, or you trying to get home, or whatever this is, panning out the court life. So they took shortcuts as far as letting you go because they didn't really go the long route. They didn't give you a warning or a second warning. They just went, what they call it, for the throat, and they just fired you. Get what I'm saying? Here the loyal, you wanted loyal back again. You wanted loyal out of them, but they just threw you in door 3 junk. I picked door 3 junk. They just threw you in junk. That means you no longer need it. You are useless. Because they was trying to figure out how to fix it, and that's what they came up with while chilling. It was showtime, and life was like a movie for you, right? They was not going to let you insult their intelligence, right? So it's amazing what happened to me. So you might have to tell, or you might did tell somebody you know what happened to you, and that is your bosses let you go. Like you wasn't important. You are a valuable player. You are good. God says you good. God say you the best. God say you good. I choose to believe what fits my life. So your bosses chose what fit their life, and what fit their life was to let you go. Okay? So they was going to bend a little and gently close the door on you because they had a lot of feelings they wanted to express to you, and they was going to do it. Or you felt that way when you knocked Catlin down. You felt she was toying with you, right? And you just walked away. Or, let's say, you got to change house. You had to stop loafing around and change house. That means you had to get away from there because they decided you no longer work there. So we grow like plants. So they was going to do some growing. They figure they can get another player. We grow like plants. That means we can get another person and grow our team. Follow me? It is time to stop settling. They felt like they weren't going to be settling for people who don't do right. Follow me? All right. They wanted full revenge, and they came after you, and they fired you. Follow me? You're a beautiful dreamer. Yes, you are. Right? But God said that they decided they weren't going to put up with your crap. You being violent and fighting or whatever was going on. The only thing I saw you do was knock her down or whatever you did, but that's just, they just didn't want to tolerate that. So they felt like you're done. They was going to clap back at you and let you know you're done. So we have you still on the bill, and that's your bosses about your cash, your gold, your money. You might have been mouthy. They might have been to you voicing what they felt like because you wanted to know what they was going to do about it, and they was letting you know what they was going to do about it. What are you going to do about it? And what they was going to do about it was let you go. Or some kind of way you dealt with Catlin before, something she was mouthy, and you showed her what you was going to do about it, and you knocked her down. I just don't know with that right there if y'all was talking or what. You saw things clear, got an epiphany. Your story is flimsy. You went through torment as far as in the office or wherever you was with your bosses because you wondered if they playing. Is it true? Are you playing? Are you joking? Are you serious? You letting me go? Get what I'm saying? Is it true? Yeah, they chose and they chanced it and they let you go. Here's the office card. In the office. This is supposed to be sweet for you, but it ain't sweet for you. It's sweet for them, not for you. This is supposed to be your card, but it's not sweet for you, so I can't say it that way. You went to the office. But it wasn't sweet for you, it was sweet for your bosses. Right? So somebody was cross-dressing and caught somebody off guard. So somebody actually cross-dresses, or we had somebody that was mean who used to be nice, but they was mean the next time around. Follow me? So no matter what came negative to Catlin, she still stood tall, right? Or no matter what come negative to you, you stood tall. You want to get to full bloom, but your bosses want Catlin to get to full bloom. Okay, so we have right here that the Wonderland of the Lost Souls. Your team, everybody connected to your team is part of the Wonderland of the Lost Souls. So we dealing with actually your main bosses, though. It could be your teammates too, but mainly your bosses, any of them people who pay you, those people who fired you. Sinful, devilish, sinful, street, whatever's going on with them, right? So we have, you're a blessing, but they don't even like you. So let's just say the card right. God said you're a blessing, but the card says they don't even like me. That's what the card said, okay? So that just simply means they disappointed in you for whatever reason, right? And I'm going to turn it and make it that way, right? they didn't see your ambition and they didn't see your worth. They saw Caitlin's ambition and her worth, and that's what they're focusing on. They looked at you as a dusty, right? And that you wasn't coming up to par. But a dusty is a man, but still, are you playing basketball? So basketball, it to me is like a man's game, sports, certain sports, right? But anyway, they looked at you as a dusty, and they felt you weren't coming up to par, right? Okay, let's go. So you might have been eating on one of them, and they decided to make the move they made, because this is a threat card. Try me if you dare. Or it could be you and Catlin some kind of way. But you wouldn't have been eating on the court unless you're chewing gum, right? So they're picking people in the order of short, tall, fat, thick, black, white, whatever color they is picking. Long hair, short hair, or whatever it was, 3 pointers, 1 pointer, or whatever they is picking. And that's how they did picking certain people. You want it to be desired by your bosses, where they keep you, but they decided they weren't going to waste their time. Don't waste your time. That's what the card says, right? Because they picked certain people and they picked her over you because they felt she's a money maker. And they would do better just letting you go for the fans' sake. Right? So we got the lawsuit right here. That's a money card. Because they want to make money, keep money coming in. Or some kind of way. It might be a lawsuit, some kind of way. Or whatever it says. Okay, they was going to seek revenge on the Negro. So seeking revenge on a Negro, you are a Negro, and seeking revenge on you just simply mean that they was going to fire you. So that's the revenge. So we got the thinking, meditation. So they're going to do what it takes to get to where they wanted to go. Okay, you had to take heed to what needs to be seen and heard by you, though, because you were not exempt, they felt like. So it was a meeting place, and you wore certain kind of clothes, or somebody asked you about what color you wearing. So the meeting place could be actually just you going to the basketball, what you call it, to an appointment with your bosses or something like that, or just to play ball, okay? Okay, so somebody wants you to spend time, and this could be in the office when they're telling you they letting you go. You want to know how long, what they want, or whatever. Anything like that. Okay, so here we got another card. They wash their hands on an African American, and that would be you. That means fire you with that card. So you had anxiety because they said it was your fault. You wanted them to be gentle with you, but God said ain't nobody as powerful as you. But with your bosses, ain't nobody as powerful as your bosses because they are in charge. And they wanted you to be gentle with Catlin because she was like an antelope and you was like a big boy, somebody dominating at the time. Or we dealing with your bosses who are the big boys. They are your bosses and you like an antelope. They over top of you. They control you. They want to be free from a commitment with you, and they made that happen. So we got the symbol that would be the logo, right? That goes with the basketball for women. So they might ask you, they wanted you to be accountable for what you did. Be accountable if you did it, because you did it. You know you did it. So they felt like they wanted to just let you go. Okay, so you wanted them to plant a seed of playful energy. Okay. So you might deal with an actual lawyer, or you might get counseling, or we just dealing with an advisor, and that would be one of your bosses or more than one of them. Whoever tell you what to do, who pay you. You was devastated. Well, Catlin was devastated as far as what happened to her because you was getting a little spicy and you felt it was your prerogative, or your bosses feel that way about you because of letting you go, because they was an enabler for you to have financial gain, but you also was an enabler for them to have financial gain because you was helping their team to win. Okay, but Catlin is an enabler for them to have financial gain, right? So they might felt like they had to let you go because they couldn't have you jeopardize that, because they was chewing on it and for thinking about that thing, right? Because they wanted balance as far as the team. They don't want fighting and all kind of carrying on, because they business people like the Virgo. They wanted love, they wanted respect and everything else. They wanted balance. They was thinking like the Virgo, business minded, right? Mindset. So it was a special delivery for sure at that time, and the special delivery was they told you that you was fired. But this goes with, like I said, for next year coming in, you're going to get a special delivery, right? Put a message in a bottle, baby, yeah. Send for me. So don't change your phone number at all. Keep it the same all the way up until next year, right? You're going to get a special delivery for sure. Okay, let's flow. Because they used their imagination and made you disappear without a trace. That means fire you so you won't be on the team. Follow me? So are you just holding on for dear life? So you're just holding on for dear life in your mind, right? But you had to be strong for the best outcome. Because something was overblown, God says. It was overblown. They should have just gave you a warning or another warning and then fired you. You might like music, or one of these people, or somebody play the violin or the guitar, or whatever this is with this music card, right? So they made arrangements, and they wanted you to get out of that camp. Make arrangements to get out of that camp. That means get out of wherever you was at the time when they fired you, right? Or body. Somebody could be German or just European or whatever they are, right? Because they are established leave business, right? So they needed to get you out because you were shaking things up. They didn't want you to shake things up, right? Shake it up, right? So they felt like you owe an apology. You felt that you was restricted and you had no way out, I guess, with whatever was going on the court with you and Catlin to make you knock her down. Maybe if she's in front of you and you're trying to throw the ball, I just don't know. So I can take it your way, but you owe an apology to her, right? But this really right now I'm talking about is your bosses. Those people there, they owe you an apology because God says that they felt restricted. They had no way out. So your bosses owe you an apology. The big boys, your bosses, because God said it was overblown. They shouldn't have fired you. They should have just gave you a warning and then another warning if they needed a second one and then let you go. But they just jumped on into it because they money lovers, right? Pusher of money, just wanting to bring in the money. They ain't wanting nothing to stop the money, right? They're just going to let it be their decision, and they wanted you to just brush yourself off and just accept it. But when you knocked Catlin down, you wanted her to brush herself off and accept it, and it was your decision to make that happen. They was looking at Catlin. Is she their good fortune? Yes, they look at her as their good fortune. And they was looking at you as you their good fortune. And to them, she was their good fortune over you, right? But you was looking at the league as your good fortune. Follow me? So here is the God card because you are a God person. You got to speak God's words. Speak to the millions. God's words, okay? Because you got a stain on you right now, and God don't want that stain on you. God don't want that stain on you. God wanted to be where it's changed around for you. Because you got a stain on you right now. Right? You looked at a certain kind of way right now. And God don't want that stain on you. Because God wants you to speak God's words to the millions. Okay, so let's just flow. Let me see what time it is. Put a message in a bottle, baby, yeah. Send for me. Somebody from the league gonna send for you next year, Miss Desheids. Keep yourself together. Be ready. Like I told you, you gotta do all your practice and all like you usually do. Deep. Okay, let's see. Let's flow. Okay, this will be your personal life. Anybody as far as your personal life, whoever it may be. I just don't know. Friends, family, lovers, whoever it is, I don't know. But these are yours, so you got to just work that out and figure it out. I just don't know who it is, right? Somebody gonna have to be accountable for it, right? Because, and face it, because they did something. Because somebody washed their hands on African American. Because somebody wanted to spend time with somebody and somebody went. So whoever it is, it was a meeting place and they asked the person what kind of clothes they was wearing or told them what to wear. So one of the people, the person who was harmed, was dealing with a dusty because somebody was killed. Follow me? They didn't even like the person, but the person was a blessing. So whoever this is that you know, whoever it is, was dealing with the wonderland of the lost soul, right? Because whoever wanted the person you know to disrespect the person's self. Get what I'm saying? We dealing with street, devilish. What else say? Street, devilish, sinful, whoever these people are. There's laughing. Let's put this over here, because this go with a funeral uphill. So we got a funeral some kind of way. Gonna be laughing at the oldies, doing it all together. Where the family wanna know why. Don't blame each other for the death. A real death I'm talking about right there. So over here, with somebody you know, trying to weather things out, or whoever this person is they got problems with. Over here we got the funeral, the lighthouse. So we're gonna put it with the church. A funeral gonna happen. Okay? It was time roped off with somebody you know, with somebody that the person they know. There's going to be some kind of camera footage or cell phone footage of some kind of proof, right, that somebody did something to another. Or whoever living, wherever they live at, whatever house they live at, but they're going to jail. Follow me? Because it became doom, right? So, because somebody, whoever it is, who killed somebody you know, if it ain't happened, it ain't happened. Hopefully it don't happen. But however it's flowing, past, present, or future. Follow me? So we have right here that what is life to you? God wanted that person to think about what is life to them. It's obvious something came from way back with a person you know and whoever the culprit is, right? Because it was a chamber of chaos and it became negative. So it was making money at night, working at night some kind of way with the person you know and whoever. So over here with you, or your family, or somebody you know going to be going to a funeral. You cannot control a person's grief. You're going to have to lift your heart. Okay, over here with whoever this is that something going to happen to, or whatever this is, or happened to already. Wanted to wrap it up every time, right? Over here with your family, you're going to pray. You're just going to pray, right? For each other, right? I just want to go home again. So whoever this is, they got murdered, or if it ain't happened yet, the person just want to go home. This is a desperate card. I want to go home. Or we got the culprit is going to jail, and the culprit wanting to go home from jail, right? Or we got the person that got murdered, want to go home. Get what I just said, right? Reaching out, gonna lose the cushions. That means lose the life. Get what I'm saying? Okay. So we have that tension was brewing, and death was the last result for somebody over here, whoever it is, right? Just wants to go back to. So we might have somebody who having problems with their mother, their father, their grandmother, whoever this is. Somebody. Might be a young person, if you know any young person. It could be a young person. Yeah, maybe dealing with some kind of custody. I don't know for sure. Let's just see who it is. Let's see. I don't know. Just wants to get back at the mother or the father and have control. The grandma might have to get custody of somebody. I don't know. I don't really want to say those for some reason because it might not even go with you, right? But if it don't, just ignore these ones that you hear me say like that. Not the big ones I said, but these small ones that you hear me saying, like sister cards, anything like that. Don't even pay it any attention, but I have to say them. So somebody going to jail. Let's say sister going to jail, or coming out of jail. So we got a woman that's coming out of jail, going in jail, or a brother, or whoever it is, or a mother or somebody. Well, I say don't let the person stay with you if the person got a husband. If you got a husband. I thought you was my friend. Somebody thought somebody was their friend, but they was wrong. Let's put this in the middle. That could be a whole nother situation separate from somebody getting killed. Get what I'm saying? So I can make it where it's going to be a funeral over here, definitely. And then we have over here somebody getting killed, and then we can have this in the middle, whatever this is about somebody and their relative. So we have somebody's taking somebody for a joke over here, as far as the person who killed the other. We got the person who was killed, need to seek the range of God and have God's bubble of protection around the person and stay in God's presence. Follow me? So we have with the family, you're going to be drowning in a sea of feelings. Family, friends, or whoever you are to this person who was killed, or if it ain't happening yet, or whatever this is, drowning in a sea of feelings. You can't recover from something downtown. Bereavement, funeral, whatever it's going to be. Right, so we have right here, no weapon formed against me. Over here, this person praying and thinking that God will protect the person because the person was dealing with a nearby police area or whatever, but this person, something went to the extreme. Person said, no way, something went to the extreme and the person got killed. Seemed like over here, it was extraordinary because the other person sent it back to the sender. Because the person was marveling at a candlelight love. Is evidence that it was quaint time. Follow me? Quiet time. It was night or whatever it was. Because somebody chose the one for full bloom to one to harm or whatever this is, right? Let's see. Somebody might decide that they wanted to quit something. And somebody didn't want to let that be. Maybe somebody was trying to pull out of something or whatever. Let's see. Let's see for a minute. The family or friends or whoever this is or the person who died got to focus on themselves now. So we have that one of these people, the culprit, or one of them had to confront the other. You need to confront and have courage. A friend had been watching your house, so maybe this person was watching a person's house. I got number 31 or 13 or number 4. So we have ring time. So somebody might want to marry somebody or just want some kind of connection. So somebody had a weakness for love making or had a weakness for caring about the other person here. Watch who you have around you as far as friends. So this person really wasn't a friend, or we can put this in the middle right here with, I thought he was my friend, but I was wrong. He is a felon, or will become a felon. So we had this person that murdered the other person is going to become a felon. You got to know you should not get involved in any trouble. So somebody's a felon. We put that in the middle, and you shouldn't get in trouble. Somebody's a felon. So we have going down the hall, somebody take pills some kind of way. So over here with somebody, loved one, with this last row over here, they might have to take some pills because they're drowning in a sea of feelings they can't recover from because a person that they know died or something like that. So they might have to take some kind of pills for relief. Or we deal with somebody who on drugs some kind of way over here. People must learn that they cannot choose somebody else's mate or who they hang with. Okay, so we got number 32, 13, 12, 23, 21. On is sleeping with my, I don't even want to say that. Okay, it is hard holding a secret. So we're gonna put this in the middle. It's hard hold. If these small ones in the middle don't go with you, don't even worry about that at all when you hear me saying that. But the one over here is for somebody going to jail, hold on to that, and the funeral over here. But these in the middle that you hear me saying grandma, mom, or anything, you can just push that to the side. If that you don't know nothing about nothing like that. But the killing part over there and the funeral is definitely something to hold on to. So it's hard holding on to a secret and being in the middle of a secret. So you might know a secret with somebody here. So relations do not want you as a friend or as a woman. So somebody over here that might have gotten murdered or it ain't happened yet. Somebody didn't want the person as a woman or as a friend, just wanted to use the person. Anything like that. So it's time to call, grow up and tell the truth. Maybe the culprit out there. Because maybe the person asked the person to come meet the person and the person was saying, for what? So this could be a love situation or it don't have to be. Somebody observed somebody accent. So somebody was wait a minute, I have to get up. I got something on this. I forgot.